Well, hey there! Come on in!
FOS Studios out here in Livermore, California. There's Jason doing his vocals today. And in the room next to it is Jonathan working the controls.
Hey, did you want to take those line by line or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want some more lines.
If you
get this done, I need some more lines.
If you take them line by line, just sing them and don't try to rush to the next one.
Yeah, let's just do. You'll see. I'll stop.
Okay. All right. There we go.
You ever want to go to the studio tired or upset or have anything else on your mind? You want to go in fresh, straight-laced, and go in, do the lyrics, get it done the way it should be. Nothing else should be on your mind.
Let me hear a little more of my lyrics.
All right.
on the verse two.
Here you go.
Now I can feel it in my veins, in my bones, in my soul. I can feel it.
Playing to a click track. Another thing. A lot of guys will come in there and they won't play to a click track. They'll just go in there and try to wing it, and because it's annoying, you know, and it's not fun, especially when you're doing it for an hour in your ear incessantly. That ding ding ding. It's like a hammer, you know, hammering into your head. But really, what it does is even when you take the click track off or take the headphones that have the click track off your head, it's still going. You know, it'll still keep clicking in your head even after you take it off. Backwoods, that's a good song. Backwoods is kind of stumbled upon us. This isn't kind of any kind of music that we really do. It's more of kind of something we stumbled upon. We were in the studio and we were just jamming some riffs, and we came up with this kind of backwoodsy, country, southern rocky riff, and we kind of rolled with that. My drummer John, he decided that sounded like something like he was on the porch, kind of hanging out with some whiskey, and so from there on we just kind of started Googling some things on that, get some ideas, and we came up with Old Popcorn Sutton, who popped up, and that's kind of where we went off with that with Old Popcorn.
Got a 45. Well, I'm the king of the road most times, and unless I'm too drunk to drive.
Salty potato chips seem to work really well. I don't know who actually threw the idea out there, but before
before we would record, I'd eat a couple salted potato chips. Seemed to dry the throat up, make it real nice and real good. I don't know what it does, but it seemed to help out real nice with the melodies. So.
Ain't got no real estate to waste my time, but I'll just walk to the old fishing hole and drop a line, yeah.
So when we recorded the drums, we did that in several different places. We did it at my place and some of it at a rehearsal spot. The drums are tracked and played mostly by myself, just engineering, getting the click going, and playing to some of the rough guitars, and then just going through and laying down the drum tracks.
Stones, bass, guitar tracks, take one, GT and Ryan Dunbar. Oh shit.
Jesus criminy.
Turn
The
that
hell?
fucking phone off!
What's up, mate? Hey, what's happening? When we're recording, it's stressful because sometimes, you know, when you're not warmed up and you're not perfect, and you get in there and you're recording, it's a little bit more permanent versus when you're playing live. You just get up there, jump around, have a great time, you know, hey, I'm having a wonderful experience, but it's not something that's permanent, you know. So when you're recording, there's a lot of pressure on getting your part right and nailing it, and sometimes if you're, you know, you're not warmed up enough or you're just not feeling it that day, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Like, you know, I could go back in and redo them. You always think you can redo it and make it better. So I kept on thinking, well, maybe I could just redo what I've done. But then I kept on telling myself, no, you're done. You're finished. Otherwise, you're just going to keep tweaking and wasting Jonathan's time. It's done. You prepared for this, and your tracks are done. My solos, for the most part, had been practiced or written out for a long period of time. A couple of spots I ended up doing some solos a little bit off the cuff, but for the most part 90% of the stuff was mapped out, and just I think me and Ryan went in and knocked it out pretty good, pretty quick. I think we both came in prepared.
Ah.
Some kind of frustrations on the tones because I like the way my amp sounds, and I'd love to just crank that thing up to like 100 watts and just let it frickin' rock the place. But we went with a little bit of the modeling amp stuff direct in, and then tweaking mixed with some of my tracks were actual mic to the old cabinet type thing.
Can you feel it? Ah, go ahead, back up. Can you feel it coursing through your veins. It never stops driving you insane.
The hardest part for recording for me would be probably having people around me. I like to be on myself, do things by myself, so to have people around me, the more people, the worse it was. So when we did the recording, we kind of did a single type of recording where it was just me and John singled out, and it seems to go a little better.
I guess, you know, I'm not the biggest know-it-all on recording and vocals, so what we did is, or what I did is, I built a little vocal booth, just a big huge cardboard box, and put some foam on the inside of it, and then so we basically just got a huge vocal booth that kind of kills everything and lets us control the vocal a little bit more. Not sure if it works well or not. I mean, you guys will be the judge when you listen to it. If it sounds good, then I guess we did a great job. I enjoy the recording process. I like how to, you know, put all the pieces together, whether it be if we're all playing live and tracking, or if we're doing it piece by piece. Just putting the whole thing together and just coming up with the right guitar tones, coming up with things that you may not necessarily think about doing, throwing some extra delays, you know, the vocal trickery, just all the little bells and whistles, you know, put on your producer hat and figure out what sounds good outside of just playing the music.
In the middle of that, then it would be perfect.
It already was low. Now you're talking about lowering it?
No, lowering the middle part. Foolin', foolin', foolin'.
It doesn't do that. Doesn't.
Because they're at the same level.
It doesn't do that echo.
Whatever the echo it is, it's doing.
It doesn't do. It's just.
They're
it's
separate
two
tracks.
It's two different vocal tracks.
So
It's not
can
an
we
echo.
tone down the echo track?
It was.
Not the
until
echo
you
track,
just
I
said
mean the
The
repeat.
middle one.
No, the repeated track. I'm sorry, maybe it's.
So you wanted to go high and then come down and then go back up.
Foolin', 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 foolin'.
doesn't
You
do
know,
that.
whatever he's doing. I don't know.
There's only two. There's only two tracks. Look right here. If you look, here's what he sings.
It like fades out. I like that part.
It goes up to this one. Those are all actual.
Should go down a little bit, I think. is all.
It already was down.
A little bit.
You're fucking killing me.
Fade that one down a little bit. Fade
Okay,
that
I'll
down
put
a
it back
little
down to the 2 dB that it was before.
bit. That's where it was. I like it better higher.
That's where it was at.
Exactly where
That's where it was at.
This recording process is driving Jonathan to drink. When we started this recording process, Jonathan was clean shaven. Now look at him.
That is a fucking fact right there.
It gets a little frustrating sometimes, and you're tired, you're working all day, and you come in and you got 4 people trying to tell you which way to go.
No, I can. It can work. I can, you know, just like I just did what Dave Grohl did right there, dude. I
Let's
know
do the
how
song
to do
again.
it.
Let's do the
but-
song right now while you're pissed.
No.
Track one song.
You
one
do
time,
it.
all the way through.
I'm not screaming no more. My fucking throat's dry as fuck.
It's dry and
But
and
what I'm
I
saying
heard
is like I know what I'm saying. I think I'm pushing my limits to where I can't do. I think I can't even do that. So
But you can do that. You're just doing it through here. If you did what you just did and sang that line in that same intensity,
but it's not the same key.
We did need to call it a flubber on the 3rd or 4th session. The stress was getting a little heavy, but
I mean, I can do
it's
it.
a shouting contest.
No, just go a little higher. You were almost there.
Yeah.
Again, a little higher. Push it.
Yeah. See, you're getting me to my point.
I don't don't need to hear that, GT.
Oh, my ears are
What I'm
crackling.
saying is,
My ears are crackling right there.
I'm pushing it from here, but I'm not a singer. But you see what I mean? I'm pushing it from here, and then I'm tightening it to go higher right here. I know how to sing.
The most difficult part is getting guys in the studio and getting them to rehearse before they get to the studio and getting them to track cleanly and the best that they can.
Take 5.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Jesus criminy. We couldn't even... I fucked up. When you said chorus, I kind of
I'm starting from there. I thought we were doing.
No, we were starting doing here.
Oh, we're starting there. Oh, I thought that was okay.
No, that one sounds a little flat.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
Emotionally flat.
Got you.
Here you go.
Ah!
Came in late. No, I mean, it's cool that there's a lot of influence there with other guitar players, but we've got David now, who's an amazing guitar player who will be coming up on the next CD, Super Strong, and he kind of helped us through the final recording process.
So the recording, they had been working on the album for over a year, and all the songs were pretty much tracked. There wasn't really anything for me to record on this. It was basically all the guitars were done. There was some bass stuff and some vocals left to record, so when I came in, the album was pretty much done. They were just waiting on some finishing touches. So I was asked to participate in checking mixes, obviously playing the songs during practice, but there was multiple versions of mixes released, and they asked for opinions on how they sounded. And I think it was cool having a fresh set of ears come in, because these guys have been working on the album for over a year, like I said, and after that long, it really starts. There can be a buildup and a frustration, you know, that little tweaks here and there, and some of those get lost because you've heard it so many times. So when I came in, I mean, the demos they send me sound great, and so the little tweaks that they did, I think, really enhanced it. And hopefully the other guys are happy with the final product after being working on it for so long.
It was really stressful for Jonathan. God bless his heart, was it stressful for him. We'd come in sometimes, and you know, after all his hard work and everything, and he'd been spending hours and hours slaving away, and we'd come in and kind of, you know, I guess it, you know, it sounds okay, but really, you know, he spent a lot of time and effort into this, and couldn't have done it without him, and turned out killer. So good job there. He put up with a lot of our crap along the way, believe me, and wow, the hours he put in were 10 times the hours that anybody else put in to this record, as far as doing the whole thing from, you know, recording, mixing, getting the levels right, stuff I wouldn't imagine if you could do on a computer. He got it done, and that's cool.
For me, family is huge, but during the recording of this album over the 2 years, I did spend a lot of time in my studio mixing and going over all these tracks. So luckily my family is pretty understanding and generous with my time, I suppose. So much thanks goes to them for putting up with my shenanigans.
every song's kind of different. It puts you in a different mood. It puts you in a different feel. One song's really get up and jump and bark and screaming, and then the other songs that are a little bit slower. Even though recording them, you don't hear all the parts together and how much it's filled when it's all together, until the final thing. So songs that I think that came out that surprised me were songs like Slip Away, where the guitars just sound clean. It's got that, that California rock and roll, sound, like a lot of the Bay Area sound, man. I don't know how, but that was really captured in that song.
We got a wide range of music for everybody on the CD. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks to everybody that helped, Juan and Ryan for helping the process. Juan helped on Flawless, which turned out to be just a killer song, one of my favorites to play. And it was his idea for that intro and for a bunch of the parts that ended up, his style got infused into that song, and we ended up having to kind of like carry that tune into the guitar player, because when Juan left, we'd show Ryan how to play, and then we've had to show David how to play it, and Juan's got just a great little personal style to his playing. When he brought that riff into the table, it was a no-brainer to put that into a song. And so we thank Juan for his input for Flawless, and Ryan also in the recording process of this album as well, because he was physically there, and what you hear, your ears are hearing, is a lot of those guitar riffs are Ryan's killer Gibson SG through the amp sim as well on the computer. So I also want to thank all of my band members for putting in the time to do this, especially Jonathan for his countless hours of I'm sure he hates these songs by now.
It's cool because we recorded in a couple different places, a couple different spots. There's been some band changes throughout this CD, mostly guitar changes, which is cool because you get a different influence from one or two of the guitar players, and God bless them. Juan, who did a great job for us, we love him to death, and Ryan, who moved to Texas, moved a little too far of a commute to stay in the band, but we love him to death too, and their spirit comes through on the CD.
I think the CD came out great. I think everybody did a great job. I think in the back of my mind, I think everybody can always do better, but at the end product, I think it sounds really great, and hopefully everybody out there will dig it.
You look like Ron Jeremy today. Kind of looks like Ron Jeremy today. Last, 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds when the song's been over.
Version of the song, only CD.
I will do
you
that
got
as long
it here.
as you don't
It's an
use
exclusive.
this footage on the video, because I do look a lot like Ron Jeremy today, and I'm embarrassed because of it. And I shaved my back last night.
Is it the hair?
No, well, I
Tell me what it is.
I hung 5-pound weights from my cock last night, and I slept in a hammock with a hole cut out.
Gotcha.
So it cut. So I guess it did. It made me a little bit Jeremy-like.
A little Jeremy-ish?
A little Jeremy-ish.